Contrary to what you might actually believe, you don't have to work hard for your specific person or for any manifestation for that matter. And it's actually just the belief that we have to struggle, work hard, try forever, take a long time to actually get what we want that actually causes us to experience time in the first place. And the only reason that you're actually continuously experiencing this, if you are with your specific person manifestation or for anything in your reality, it's because of the continuation in that belief. But let's start off as to why we actually have that belief in the first place. So when we're growing up, if we grow up in an area that really kind of thrives on hard work or needs it, or we have the belief or someone around you thinks I have to work really hard to get what I want, they're going to displace that belief onto you in their reality. But the crazy thing is when it comes to relationships, more than ever, people usually think this, right? They think you have to try really hard. You have to work really hard. You're only meant for specific types of people or certain people in your reality, which in essence is totally untrue. But because so many people believe it, so many people affirm for it, you can accidentally convince yourself of the same thing. And this is not something new that I mentioned in my videos because I talk about time kind of relating to that too. Your manifestation will take as long as you think it will take. And so if you want it to go faster, you just have to assume or imagine it as being with you tomorrow or right now or within the next moment, and you will see that happen. But we actually have to get over this belief that we need to work really hard for it to happen because you don't. The essence of being who you are, your specific person loving you, has nothing to do with what you actually do in your physical reality. Literally nothing. What would you say is the reason why you like your specific person or love them, right? It's not going to be something physical, right? It's something that they could just snap their fingers and be at any point in time, right? It's going to be like confidence, admiration, kindness, like things like that, right? That they just take upon themselves and they act like, and then you like them as a result. But you can do the same exact thing. But there's actually a way around this because of course we can go through this huge crazy procedure of trying to convince ourselves that we don't need hard work in order to create the outcome that we want. But there's actually a really easy trick to overcome this. And then over time, it'll actually just eliminate this behavior entirely, but it will work exactly right here and right now. And the concept that we want to start to identify with is luck. Right? We want to just be lucky. And I know a lot of people think, well, does me thinking that everything always works out for me, is that the same as thinking lucky? And the answer is no. Those are not the same thing. When you think of everything working out for you, you can just imagine or think of what visual image in your mind represents that. And then it'll make sense as to why those are not the same thing. So when you think of, because someone actually asked me this in a coaching session because they had the same belief. They were thinking, I need to work hard to create this outcome. And I mentioned this concept of luck. And they're like, yeah, but I always feel like everything works out for me, but those are not the same thing. So let's take, for example, the thought process that everything is working out for you. So what does that mean in relation to time? So the image that conjures up in my mind, you might be different or you might be the same, is that a domino effect has to occur, right? When we're thinking of things happening in our reality, when we think of everything working out for me, we think a bunch of dominoes have to fall over in order for it to be created. It is the same concept, which is a good concept, that everyone and everything is working out for you, kind of like my previous video that everyone wants you to be with your specific person, but it can influence or create this concept of time if you are someone who thinks you have to work really hard for the outcome that you want. But instead, when you think of luck, what comes to mind? Domino effects don't happen, right? If you're lucky, it just boom, pops into existence. When we think of the relationship between quantum leaping, luck is much more in relation to quantum leaping and getting to the outcome that you want right here and right now than it would be that everything is always working out for you, because both are true. You are lucky and everything is working out for you. But if you can identify with luck, you can actually immediately overcome this barrier of thinking that things you have to work hard for it, right? Because luck just happens, right? You don't need to do anything for luckiness. You can just do one thing, right? You can put in one little measly % of effort. And then if you're lucky, right? Because you are lucky, everything's going to work out for you. So if you want to overcome this and start to understand this idea that you do not have to work hard, you don't have to struggle, you don't have to try all these crazy things in order to manifest what you want. But if you identify with luck, just say, I am lucky, then you will experience a total difference in your reality. You will no longer feel you have to struggle. You will just know you already have it. So start to identify with the state of being lucky. And again, luck doesn't need a purpose. It just happens. And so that's what's going to occur. And as always, let me not just say this, let me give you an example of this. So this is a message I received from someone after our coaching session, and I'm just going to read it to you. So they wrote last night, he spent at least 20 minutes, their specific person, on my Instagram that I know of, liking around 5 different posts from a while ago, which means he had to scroll through to get to them. It was also a manifestation. They go into detail, which I obviously can't show for privacy reasons, but think about that. Think of your specific person right now, scrolling through your Instagram and like, right? Going through and just liking all this stuff, right? That shows massive, this person is in the state of being pursued, right? And do you think they had to try really hard to do that? Like, if you think of your specific person scrolling through your Instagram, how do you work hard for that, right? You just have to assume it, right? And that's what we did in our coaching session. But when it comes to this, hard work has nothing to do with manifestation. Of course, if you have the idea that if I do this, then there will be a positive outcome, that's okay. But remember, the idea that you have to work hard, you have to struggle, you have to be in pain for some reason to get what you want makes absolutely no sense. Because if I were to ask you, how do you work hard for that? How do you work hard for your specific person to scroll through your Instagram and like all your stuff, right? To pursue you, to chase you. And you'd be like, well, I don't know, right? The hard worker in you is really confused with that answer, but it should have an answer if that's a true belief. But if instead we realize it's all a product of the way that we're feeling, our state and our assumptions, then it makes a lot of sense. And then hard work literally has nothing to do with it. And so if you think that this person had to work really hard to achieve that, to make it happen, you would be mistaken. It all happened within our mind, all happened within our assumptions, and all happened within our beliefs. And so if you want to do the same thing, you can do it, because this person identified more with luck than they did with hard work, or more with their internal state and their assumptions rather than anything happening in their external reality. And that's how they're able to get this awesome and amazing success. And truthfully, you can do the same exact thing if you just follow through this concept and start to identify again with luck or with instantaneous manifestations. Because I know a lot of us might be thinking, yeah, but I've been working so hard. What's going on? Does that mean all my hard work was for nothing? Well, no. Again, if you have a belief, that's okay to want to kind of work for the outcome, right? You can have this assumption and belief that you can work hard and it feels very satisfying to achieve it after you work for it. That's okay. There's no problem with that. But if you want it quicker, we have to let that belief go, because there's actually no problem in any beliefs. Your higher self, your higher state has no problem with you thinking that your manifestation is going to take a year or it's going to take a day. It literally it does not care which one you are picking and choosing, but it's just going to reward you with that which you are assuming to be. So if you want your manifestation right now, you have to let go of this hard work concept, because there is no hard work to get there. There's no physical action to take to get there. Now, there are physical actions that can support your belief system in your mind, which then create, meaning you can do things that make you feel luckier, and that will manifest. But to have this physical concept or idea that you need to physically go there, you have to physically strive to get to that, any manifestation, it just isn't true. And it's this false belief that people gave to us. But again, you don't have to worry about getting rid of it. Just identify with luck and you will see a difference in your reality. Now, if you did have any questions on it, definitely comment them down below, but also write in the comment section, as this day one of being the luckiest person alive, right? I am the luckiest person alive. Comment that down below as an affirmation. And after you do that, leave a thumbs up on this video if you really enjoyed it. And also don't forget to subscribe as well. If you did have any questions that you didn't want to comment below, you wanted to send to me personally, head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where if you did have a personal question or a personal success, because I definitely want to hear about your manifestation and how you're doing. But as always, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in my next video tomorrow.